Richa ma'am, are you there? Good afternoon, Richa ma'am.
Good evening, Mathur sir.
Good evening, Richa ma'am.
Mathur sir, am I audible to you?
Yeah, you are audible to me. Am I audible properly? Richa ma'am, am I audible to you properly? Richa ma'am.
Well, yes, so you are audible.
Yeah, okay.
मिल गया मुझे।
Hello, Professor Charles. Good evening to you. Professor Charles.
How are you? Good evening.
Fine,
It's well
fine.
with you.
Yeah,
Very fine.
Nice
Well
to
done.
see you. Nice to see
Yeah,
you.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Yeah, thank you. Good.
Good afternoon to all. Good afternoon.
Well, very good afternoon.
Whether Professor Jagannath has joined or not? Professor
Good
Jagannath.
afternoon.
Not yet, sir.
Hello, good evening, Mona.
Good evening, everyone. We'll take another 7 minutes to start with. Till then, we're just waiting for the people to join. And here our trustee has joined us just now. So,
ऋचा मैम जगन्नाथ सर को टेलीफोन करिए जरा। ऋचा मैम कैन यू हियर मी? ऋचा मैम?
Yeah. Our trustee is also here. Our vice chancellor has also joined. So just to inform you all, we will be live on Facebook so that you all can share it from there. We'll be going live at Piyush's channel. So we'll be going live from there on Piyush Pandit's Facebook page. And then from there, we all can share this. This is our first session with the first ever university which we have collaborated so far, Manipal University, Jaipur. So IIU, in collaboration with Manipal University, is conducting this symposium where we will be talking on different topics related to education in technology, technology in education, virtual, the change, or the new normal. So the parent topic is actually divided, the parent topic is actually divided into different topics so that we all will be able to understand everything in detail.
Dr. Richa? Dr. Richa?
Hi, good evening, sir. How are you doing?
मैडम जगन्नाथ सर को फोन करिएगा जरा।
हाँ जी, okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Another 3 minutes to go so that we can start with this collaborative session on technology in education in the new normal. And one thing which I would like to request you all, Team IIU will be sharing one participant Google form. So those who are participating today would request you all to fill the application form for the certification process. Now, another just 1 minute to go and we'll be there. Now, another just 1 minute to go and we'll be there. Now, another just 1 minute to go and we'll be there. Good evening to all.
Good evening and namaste.
I would request you all to be on mute so that we can start with this conference in collaboration with Manipal University with IIU. Yes, International Internship University. In technology, it's about the people, getting the best people, retaining them, nurturing a cultural environment and helping to find a way to motivate. First of all, I would like to thank each one of you for joining IIU's Educational Symposium 2021, which is being organized in collaboration with Manipal University, Jaipur. I feel great proud to say that this symposium has been organized by the IIU with Manipal University for the first time. This is for many, like we'll be coming up with many different conferences with different institutions all across the globe. The institution is constituted to enlighten the young minds and promote the participation of students at all levels, all around the globe. I bid a very warm welcome to all the renowned speakers and members who took out their time, actually valuable time, and joined us today to be a part of this symposium. We are honored to have you all with us here. With this, I would like you all to offer my gratitude, to offer my regards to all the people who make this symposium functional in such hard times. The topic, yes, a very important topic, technology in education in this new normal. Actually, it has become hand in hand and it's need of an hour with all of us when it comes to education or to our personal life, anything. Even though this symposium is the marker of yet another success of our institution, it also allows us to meet some of the brilliant minds of the world which became the member of this organization. Yes, here I'm talking about the IIU. With all those words, I would take the honor for introducing our trustee of IIU, Mrs. Roshni Lal, a loving wife, mother, mother-in-law, grandmother, and an inspiration to those around her. Her roots takes us back to India when human beings experience trauma or severe life-threatening situations, it is not uncommon for their life to unravel. Having a great passion is to serve the needy and be a role model to those who have been through a traumatic or stressful experience. This is something Mrs. Lal preaches and used her core to help others in need. Ma'am, please, a few words to address our audience. Over to you, Dr. Roshni Lal, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Roshni Lal, as you all know, the trustee of IIU. I welcome you all. Thank you for having me. Okay, I would just like to say something about technology in education. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Technology plays a vital role in education as it helps to clear our doubts. We can easily search for any related topic and we can get much knowledge from them. In today's world, bookish knowledge is not enough. We can design and integrate the reliable and contemporary tailored technology solutions suitable for any education, faculty, and needs students you. The COVID-19 has resulted in schools and universities shut all across the world. Globally, over 1.2 billion students are out of classroom. As a result, education has changed drastically with the destructive rise in e-learning, whereby teaching is undertaken remotely on digital platforms. The application of education technology, especially online learning, is reaching the tipping point globally. Timely development of talent and skills will ensure that digital transformation currently taking place lead to economic and social benefits for all. The widespread disruption to education institution caused by COVID-19 has further accelerated the pursuit of digital solutions for education, meaning the changes coronavirus has caused might be here to stay. Thank you all for your time.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate that you took out time and shared your perspective with us. It means actually a lot. Now, moving further, before we start and meet our other speakers, I definitely would like to have you all here, yes, to introduce our institution, definitely IIU, yes. So I would like to take the opportunity to share this video with you all.
IIU. To all, irrespective of which background one comes from. IIU has tie-ups with major universities all over the world for providing various courses and doctorates. We feel proud and happy to share that IIU has reached every continent of the world with the purpose to provide higher education free of cost with the help of virtual education.
Welcome to the International Internship University, USA. My name is W. Kevin Ward. I welcome you to the world's greatest education system. I am a speaker, trainer, and coach, and I have incredible experience in the education and leadership sectors. IIU is present all over the world, and we look forward to making education virtual and accessible to all. I'm representing the USA as an honorary country board member. I thank the International Selection Committee of IIU who believed in
Welcome to the International Internship University. For the first time in the history, you have an opportunity to acquire education. You will learn, you will understand, and you will succeed in creating the kind of career for yourself that you've always dreamed of. So, in fact, you will earn what you learn because you will be paid while you carry out your internship. Through this, you will acquire knowledge and skills once you get paid. The IIU is designed for the welfare of mankind. Many individuals within the population do not have financial stability to fund their educational needs and enroll themselves into a higher educational institution. Fortunately, with rapid technological advancement, of globally recognized degree certificate from IIM. I hope you will join us and be part of IIM. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Hai, saya Munandia. Saya asli Indonesia. Dengan dan menjangkau setiap orang dengan pendidikan, kami mendekati misi ini. Saya bangga memainkan peran sebagai salah satu pendiri dalam misi dari Indonesia. Universitas Mathur International Academy ini adalah universitas otonom dengan akreditasi yang sukses dengan pelajaran kepada siswa yang mencakup 195 negara sepanjang tahun. Tujuan utamanya adalah kemajuan kaum muda dan negara. Siswa akan mampu memecahkan tantangan kehidupan nyata yang nanti akan dihadapi banyak kejadian bangsa dan sambil memanifestasikan kemampuan dan potensi.
Welcome to the Untitled International University of Arora. My name is Mathur, and I welcome you to the world's greatest education system. I am an education consultant, and I have a lot of experience in the education sector. Untitled International University is present everywhere in the world, and we look forward to making education virtual and accessible to everybody wherever you might be. I'm representing Sierra Leone as an honorary board member, and I want to use this opportunity to thank the Selection Committee for giving me this opportunity to be able to inspire us and to give me information. I want to thank you very much. God bless.
Welcome to the International Internship University. I'm Samson Kurz, a community development practitioner and an educator from both the formal and informal sectors of Zambia. The coronavirus pandemic has affected the education system, with millions of learners expected to fall behind due to restricted learning and challenges in accessing finances to pay for education. Digital learning offers a solution to lessening the challenges created by COVID-19, and the International Internship University offers that to be representing Zambia as Zambians who join the International Internship University as lecturers, members, and learners. Thank you very much, IIU, for this opportunity.
Hello from the world's first international internship university, India. My name is Dr. Prachi Kaur. I have a rich experience in the field of education. I welcome you all to the world's greatest education system. IIU has its presence all over the world. We look forward to making education virtual and accessible to all. Being the country, it is my privilege to represent my country, India. I thank the International Selection Committee, IIU, for interesting this wonderful opportunity. I look forward to an exciting journey. Take care, stay healthy, stay safe.
Welcome to International Inclusive University Indonesia.
Welcome to the International Internship University. My name is Anne-Marie Singh. I welcome you to the world's greatest education system. I am an education ambassador. I have incredible experience in the education sector. International Internship University is presented all over the world. We look forward to making education virtual and accessible to everyone. I am representing my nation, Sierra Leone. of the green, white, and blue flag. I thank the International Selection Committee of IIU who believe in me and gave me the opportunity to do this pious work. See you online, and remember, education is a must. We should attain. Thank you.
Now we are waiting for you to volunteer to spread the education. 2017, there were 4 co-founders thought to build this system. 2018, working tirelessly on this project, name decided as International Internship University. 2019, ideation of work mechanism, decided to launch in 195 countries with virtual education, decided to launch the university on July 27, 2019 unofficially. 2021, decided official launch on May 25, 2021. Our journey has started, but this is not our destination. We will keep this journey on till we make the education of the world cost-free. Piyush Pandit believes that the education in the world should be given free irrespective of any university.
Well, without any delay, I would like to take this stage to now introduce you all with IIU's Vice Chancellor, Ambassador Dr. Pareet Somani. She is a phenomenal personality who has proven to be an ideal educator, global citizen, spreading knowledge, inspiration, and motivation, building bridges between the Eastern and Western world through her remarkable work of distinction. Ambassador Dr. Pareet Somani is an international academic scholar, motivational speaker, educator, philanthropist, writer, and author. She has spoken in more than 97 online national and international webinars in the capacity of chief guest, guest of honor, inaugurator, keynote speaker, valedictorian, chairperson, presenter, and interviewee. Wow, an amazing personality and indeed a world-class orator. A few words for our gathering, ma'am. Please, the stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prachi, for the kind introduction. It is my pleasure to be with you all. On behalf of IIU, I would like to welcome you all, our Board of Trustee, Dr. Roshni Lal, Dr. Piyush Pandit, founder, chairman, and head of IIU Asia, all esteemed speakers around the world, our moderator, faculty members, our organizing team, and all the delegates for joining us today. We're extremely happy to be delivering an initiative in collaboration with the School of Humanities and Social Science, Manipal University, Jaipur, on the topic of technology in education in the new normal. This will be one of many collaboration with the higher education institutions, because no higher education can attain excellence on its own. We must harness the power of strategies, partnership with other universities, with business, with civil society, with governments. As global challenges increases, becoming more complex on a larger scale, collaboration with other institutions are vital. Lone institutions are no longer the best model of delivering leading subjects and breaking through on a global scale. For example, although Albert Einstein was the sole author of the book predicting gravitational waves, most recent scientific paper required more than 1,000 authors globally to confirm detection. I think my internet has just gone off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So I'll go with the example. Albert Einstein was the sole author of the paper predicting gravitational waves. Most recent scientific papers required more than 1,000 authors globally to confirm detection of those waves. This is an example of the strength of collaboration to help to educate you, our students of IIU. Technology in education is a vital component of the new normal world. And we will hear more from our esteemed speakers who are going to be sharing their knowledge. We are grateful to Manipal University for your contribution. IIU is designed for the welfare of mankind, and I give to you all our blessings and best wishes so that you may take from this session words of wisdoms to help our education, to help educating our students in the new normal world. Through these tools, we will have an opportunity to play your part in society stronger than you have before. And you can help to create a better future for your family, communities, for the future of our countries. Thank you and namaste.
Well, I would request you all to be on mute. Moving further. I want to compliment you on your speech, Dr. Pareen Somani. It was very appealing and captivating. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
IIU has been established based on the experience of 195 country experts, wherein educators and industry leaders have contributed to bringing global education under one roof with a motto of free education for all. It will enable fundamental changes in government policies, laws, incentives with a view to robustly encourage and empower education across all sectors. So let's have a glance of it. Let's understand how the founders has came up with his idea and to represent IIU in such a manner. So I would like to share another screen with you all so that will give you a better, clear perception about IIU. And here you all go. Yeah.
What is education? Books, classes, teachers, schools? No. Education is not that. It's beyond this. Education is a term that we have grown up listening to since we were kids. Right from the beginning of childhood till this very moment, we have been surrounded by education and its need and importance. A luxury for the rich, a necessity for the bread earner, a dream for the underprivileged, an aspiration for the suppressed, a distant reality for the inaccessible. The primary objective of education is to impart knowledge. Education also has its fair share in building the thinking capacity of people's minds. Hence, education supplies people with knowledge and facts and also encourages them to integrate that acquired knowledge into practical and professional lives by a necessary training. Education, thus, also plays a primary role in supporting the economic, social, and cultural sector of a country. It's a way to change the future today. The current education system can make people easy to lead, but difficult to drive. It's either all academic, all physical, all virtual, or all costly. Also, it makes easy to govern, but impossible to enslave. We cannot win over the future by sabotaging our present with extreme disparity. IIU takes great pride in saying that we're bridging the gaps in education system. We're not just academicians, but also practically oriented. We're not just limited to virtual classes, but also physical exposure. We do not dig a hole in the pockets of the students and their families. We're everything that traditional education hasn't been. IIU has already implemented and promoting the MOOCs technology. When we talk about MOOCs technology, it stands for Massive Open Online Courses. The word massive is to be understood in the sense that 100,000 learners or more at the same time have open and equal opportunities to attend these courses. MOOCs are truly a tremendous technological leap, and what makes them so attractive is that they don't imply any cost to learners. IIU has tied up with more than 100 universities to provide more than 10,000 courses to the students, free of cost, with the help of MOOCs technology. We're a revolution in the making, a wind of change. Education is much more charming and intriguing than the temptations of distractions unnecessary. Our education policymakers must look into the problem to make a better system, which is more practical and provides hands-on learning to the students. Who are we? The International Internship University is a virtual university with state-of-the-art curriculum, real-life industry exposure, amazing student attention, learning-oriented resources, and most of all, a commitment to make the world a better place. Why do we exist? We exist to fulfill the necessity of the bread earner. We exist to help underprivileged achieve their dreams. We exist to fuel aspirations and accessibility. We exist to provide everyone the luxury of being capable of changing the world. We really do exist to ignite young minds and make them the torchbearers of tomorrow. For a better future, for the legacy of everyone who's left us, for the hope of everyone who's yet to come, and for the growth of everyone who walks this beautiful planet. We invite you to join our world-class educational team and platform with an altruistic dedication to creating the future. The change is so big that it would potentially impact millions across the world. Millions of children and youth around the world cannot wait any longer. Please join us in our effort to create the virtual learning generation of IIU. We're IIU, we're change. Welcome to our world, a new tomorrow.
A new tomorrow, a new tomorrow. With this, I also welcome all the eminent speakers who have joined us today. I guarantee that the symposium will be productive and worth your precious time. It is my honor to host this event. And now it's time to give the stage to our keynote speaker of the day. Yes, one and only from Manipal University, Jaipur, Professor N.D. Mathur. Presently, Professor Mathur is a senior professor in the Department of Economics, Director School of Humanities and Social Sciences at Manipal University, Jaipur. Professor Mathur has been a senior faculty member of the Department of Economics, Administration and Financial Management, University of Rajasthan, Jaipur. Besides this, he held the administrative position of Director, University 5-year Law College and Director Administrative Services Pre-Training Center, APTC, University of Rajasthan, Jaipur, and also Professor Mathur is member of UGC Committee on SAP in Commerce and Management. He is member of UGC Committee deciding status of other universities. He was also a member of UGC Committee for Northeast Scholarship, namely Ishan Urai. He is amongst rare professors who have enjoyed full-fledged professorship in the discipline of economics, commerce, and management. Professor Mathur is a very senior assessor in National Assessment and Accreditation Council. Professor Mathur is an academician par excellence and has justified various academic and administrative positions, namely as Dean, Faculty of Management at SMBD University, Jammu and Kashmir, and Central University of Rajasthan, Peshawar. He has around 43 years experience so far in teaching in various colleges and universities. A very, very warm welcome, Professor Mathur. The stage is all yours. Professor Mathur, sir, you are on mute, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Prachi. Good evening to everybody, and I am extremely thankful to International Internship University for collaborating with the School of Humanities and Social Sciences of Manipal University, Jaipur. And this program is a joint venture of MUJ, that is Manipal University, Jaipur, and the International Internship University. And my friends have also joined, the colleagues have also joined from there. I welcome them, Dr. Jagannath Parodi, who is Dean Faculty of Engineering, and Dr. Richa Arora, she is the Head Department of Arts, and the senior colleagues of mine. And I also welcome the other speakers, Kevin Ward and Nada Ritwik and Hari Krishna and Suchitra Bhattacharya and Dr. Satnam. I'm thankful to the trustee, Mrs. Roshni Lal, the founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit, and the Vice Chancellor, Pareen Somani. She has addressed us recently, and we have been benefited by her great ideas. I have attended many programs, and I have always been impressed by her presentations. As I have been given the chance of delivering the keynote address, and the umbrella topic is technology in education in new normal. So I'll not touch upon the sub areas of the topic, though there are 10 sub areas, but because the time is less, I'll not touch upon all the sub areas. But as the topic says, that technology in education in new normal. Now, that says that we should not get transfixed in the old normal, and we should move ahead towards new normal. And what is the new normal in education? The blended learning has become new normal in education. It will coalesce around access, success, and the students' perception of their learning environment, and blended learning designs which were already available, that is EduCause, learning initiatives, circle, online consortiums. These are the order of the day. Then another important change in technology is ICT in society and education. That is digital technology and can communicate information without human interaction. The software fluidity. World has become infosphere, like biosphere, in which we live in, like in frogs. Now, learning analytics, artificial intelligence, adaptive learning, calibrated peer review, automated easy storing, this is all possible. And teacher can spare time for caring, creating, engaging, exploring, and other areas. So more literature is required on blended learning now. The Bloomer and Swan in 2005, they worked on this. The blended learning has potential to enhance effectiveness, sense of community, etc. Then we often talk about digital divide, and people say that there is a digital divide, and how you will impart education when there is a digital divide. People don't have access to internet, people don't have access to technology. But in no country at a point of time, all facilities are available at a point of time, they are not omnipresent. And slowly, things start gaining. And that is why we should not worry about it. And the pandemic has helped in vanishing out this digital divide, and things have become better for the educationists. Now, framing of a treatment effect, that is lab assessments, online instructions, email, class websites, then computer lab, mapping, scaffold tools, computer clusters, interactive presentations, evidence-based practices, electronic portfolios, LMS and virtual apparatus. These have been used, and these are being used in online technology. Now it is possible that a person who is in the Hasanpura village of Jaipur
Well, sir, you on mute.
from you can take education from any corner now and to any good institution now. A person who is teaching in Hasanpura village of Jaipur or who is a student of Hasanpura village of Jaipur can take education from Harvard. And the Harvard University has come out with certain free online courses, and you can take admission whether you are in a village of nearby Bagru or Chumu, but you can take education in Harvard. So blended learning, and nowadays the coding and data science, this has become very important, and coding and data science is new language of learning. New Education Policy 2020 has talked about it, and CBSC from July onwards, July 2021 onwards, it has joined hands with Microsoft, and they have taken it in their skill module. Similarly, AICT and Ministry of Education has also established Cyber Peace Foundation, and they have launched the Cyber Section project for this purpose. So blended learning is the most effective way of support education. We have to ask certain questions that how blended learning configures itself in new normal. The blending maintains or increases access to most student cohorts. Improved success rates for minority and non-minority students are alike, and we need blended teaching that reflects pedagogical arrangements, and blended learning and new normal relationship has to be found out. Then friends, the transition to new normal of learning is in this pandemic time or unpredictable times. This transition has been very smooth during the pandemic period, and pedagogical practices have developed, learning environment has developed by the teachers, transforming conventional flipped classrooms to fully online flipped classrooms has been very smooth, and the pre-class activities have started, and when the student come to the class in the online mode with the pre-class activity, then teacher has more time for 5E framework, that is engage, explore, explain, elaborate and evaluate. That he can engage the student more by real world scenario, problems, asking questions, connect with past experience, brainstorming, then exploring, that is facilitator, or he can work as a coach, or he can give time and more opportunities to explore. Then explain the engagement and the other experiences, and the use of mini lectures can be done, that is elaborate, and classroom discussions can be done, and then evaluate the format assessment or developing quiz or the MCQs, etc. So summative assessment may be there. So that is the great change, that this 5E framework can work, and 7 good practices for video conferencing assisted online flipped classrooms can be seen. That once you go for online classroom, remind participants to mute, switch on webcams, tell them to make them functions friendly. Then instructions should be used, dual monitors to be used when the experimentation is being done, one for the students and the other one for the experiment. Then pre-class learning with a short review, and use a mobile phone to foster quicker online response items. This can be tried. Then because the time is less, I'll take three more minutes to certain stories which are going on. That people want work from home now. Apple company, Google company, Twitter, most of the companies, they are offering the options for online work, and even the employees, the remote work advocates, they have made an organization, and they are collecting. Then even there have been conflicts among disciplines, the allopathy versus Ayurveda, and then Norway, Singapore, France, Peru, 100% e-cards will operate, and in Finland No cars, only public transport system will operate. Virtual incubation Chopal has been developed at Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad, Chennai, Calcutta, where the virtual incubation Chopals are working. Then in Jamia Millia, Aligarh Muslim University, Jamia Hamdard, they have started virtual coaching of civil services examination. And one journalist and writer, Jasper Baker, he has said that in Wuhan lab, the change of genes, they are working on change of genes. And in the animals, they have already done it. And they are trying it on men also, humans also, so that they can make better army personnel or better soldiers. So they are trying this, the biological weapons out of that. And even pandemic says that it was a biological experiment by China. Even two authors like Monas Kapadia and Venus Venkat Iyer, they have written two books, How I Quit Google to Sell Samosa, or Venkat Iyer has written a book, Moong Over Microchips, and they have quit their jobs. They were at good positions in the IBM. The Venkat Iyer was in IBM, and the Monas Kapadia, he was with Google, and they left their jobs, and they are doing some better work for the technology and for the society. So the technology in education is the new tomorrow. As we were talking about new tomorrow, the technology in education is the new tomorrow, and that as quickly we adapt this change, I appreciate the efforts of International Internship University that they are working for the noble cause of society with free education, and that too they have started with a Big Bang decision and Big Bang launching in 195 countries, providing free education and access to education at such a level. So I think this collaboration of Manipal University Jaipur and IIU will go a long way, and we will have many more programs in times to come. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Mathur. I'm really grateful today that I'm a part of this event, to be honest. And really, all of us around are actually illuminated with your thoughtful process. Definitely, it will bring change. It is the need of an hour. Everything has turned into virtual. Everything has turned into, it has come up with new normal society. And this is something which we all have adapted in a new way. So now, it's time to call upon our first speaker for the day, Professor Dr. Jagannath. Yes, again, from Manipal University, Jaipur. And for the first topic, pandemic and technology. Professor Dr. Jagannath is a professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering and is Dean of Faculty of Engineering at Manipal University, Jaipur. The stage is all yours, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Prachi, and good evening, everybody. And it's an opportunity for me to express my thoughts, share my thoughts with experts. I'm very happy about it. I'm given a topic, pandemic and technology. Yes, we have all undergone this pandemic since more than 1 year now. We have all experienced it. Whole world has experienced. Whole society has experienced. Whole ecosystem has suffered because of this, not only human beings. But yes, it has also taught many lessons to us. Because the history, if we go through, all these pandemics, whenever it happened, it has boosted the innovation. It has stretched the mankind to a particular boundary that people have to do something. People have to face this challenge and to do something new. Some new innovation has emerged. And this is not an exception also, this pandemic. So definitely we will come out of it. New technologies will emerge. But at present situation, yes, to all students, if you come to I'm speaking in the education field. Yes, tens and millions of students are stranded at their home, not able to come to the school or colleges. And it's a difficult time for them because it's a completely new type of education now happening. Nobody is prepared for this. Everything is happened suddenly, whether it is students or it is teachers or it is institutions, parents, nobody was prepared. But at the same time, you could not wait. We had to do something because it is the future of our own students. The academic cycle should not get extended. Their future career is at stake. Looking at all this, what has happened is the available technologies, people started using it. Nobody was an expert in that. Teachers or faculty were not experts. Students were not experts. But still, there was a need to start with those kind of technologies available. Basically, if I see all these technologies which we are using for education today, not strictly meant or customized for education. All these technologies, many of them are for especially for expert meetings, meetings with an industry experts or academic experts or scientific forums. So most of these technologies are meant for that. None of the technologies are very much customized for education sector. But there was no time. Everybody have to use some of the other technology to impart the education to the students. So we all started using it. At least this has given an opportunity to learn it. Everybody started learning it by doing mistakes. Yes, we have learned it to some extent. As we all know, the education technology has to be entirely different than the technology which we are using for education. Because education is not simply giving some information, because both are not experts in this. What we are teaching, don't know anything about that topic. It is completely a different scenario between the meeting between the experts, where everybody knows everything. But here it is an entirely different scenario. So definitely there has to be a fundamentally different way of teaching and learning. Because why I'm telling this, stressing this, because education is not only imparting the information to the students, but also it should teach the compassion, the communication, the leadership, the team management, the interpersonal skills, how to work together, how to share responsibilities, how to maintain relationships, all these soft skills. None of the technology which we are using today can impart these kind of skills to the students. And none of these technologies which are definitely, there is something lacking even in imparting the information also. That is especially when I speak about engineering education, because I'm in this engineering field. It's an entirely different scenario. Engineering field needs, it's a blend of both theoretical and practical scenario or experiential learning. So theoretical knowledge through these technologies, whatever we are doing for other courses, we are also doing in engineering. But how do you impart this practical learning, experiential learning through these technologies? Again, there is a limitation with respect to technology. Today there is augmented reality, virtual reality, so many things are, digital technologies have come. But none of these can impart this experiential learning to the students. Think of a situation, a student working in a CNC machine, computer numerical control machine, or it's a lathe, or it's a shaping, or it's a milling machine, or it's an IC engine, petrol engine, diesel engine, pump or a compressor or a turbine. How can we simulate this kind of machines and give this kind of experience of working to the students? How much investment is needed at the institution level to make this kind of things happen? And I don't think that it is possible for an institution make this kind of investment in a shortest possible time with the kind of funding required also. So therefore, what the technology has to do now, technology to some extent has matured, and it has come through the last 1 year, incorporating new features into the existing technologies to impart quality education, whether it is through video, whether it is through the normal teaching. But fundamentally, one side of technology is technology has to improve, no doubt about it. I'm not underlying the importance of technology in education. But what is required in technology is the use of artificial intelligence. Can we study the learning level of the students before going to the next topic, whether all students have learnt it properly, which could happen in face-to-face learning? We were able to judge, or we were able to guide the students or motivate the students or help the students to know whatever their doubts or clearing their doubts, which I think is very difficult to do in this kind of remote learning. Can some kind of inclusion of artificial intelligence into these technologies can make this happen? Can we be confirmed that whatever we teach is reaching to the students 100%? They are learning it as if they are learning in the classroom situation. That is one way the technology has to improve. There's a huge gap now, and there's a huge potential for the research and innovation to incorporate these things into the technology. There's a technology part, but at the same time, there should be fundamentally a different way of teaching and learning. So whatever we have done so far in the normal classroom teaching, many of the things we have to get away with. So normally what we used to do, our focus is, yes, there is a syllabus, there is a course. So our intention is to cover this syllabus with the certain number of classes, with assignments, with quizzes, with the tests, with evaluation, all these kind of things. How we can incorporate something new into our teaching and learning, that every educator now should think upon. Not only the technology. Technology is only as a tool we can use. But at the same time, as a teacher, as a faculty, as an educator, I should also improve in my teaching methodologies. Is it a better way to provide the quiz sheet to the students first before explaining the topic, so that they will come prepare and they will make it an interactive session, so they know something before coming to this online classes, and how to do it. So all these new innovative way of teaching and learning, that is equally important as the technology advancement. Yes, we are all experiencing it. We are all improving day by day, because the pandemic has given an opportunity for us to do things differently, and we have to do it differently. And from the students' point of view also, yes, it's a completely different experience for them. They're not getting any experience of campus.
Professor Jagannath?
Sir, please unmute.
He is unmuted.
Sir, please unmute.
I think he has lost the internet.
Network issue.
Okay, take the next one then.
He's having a network problem. I think it's network problem.
Well, it is definitely great, and I appreciate your perspective, Professor Jagannath, directly from Manipal University, Jaipur. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a ton. And it is definitely a change, adaptability. Yes. So we all have been struggling with since last more than 1.5 years. But now we are all used to somehow and learning. But definitely, as you said, the change is the new normal. Moving further, our second speaker for the day, yes, Suchitra Bhattacharya. Mrs. Suchitra is here for the topic social ecological system affected by the pandemic. Dr. Bhattacharya is an educationist and an administrator and a social worker. She is a classical singer and a dancer too. Dr. Bhattacharya is working in the education sector from last 20 years. She's a prolific thinker, a dynamic educationist, a transformational life coach, and an able administrator. Dr. Suchitra believes in leading a happy team with the positive thought of just being beside the students as a guide to the innovative mind and getting the creativity from the children. She has immense faith on the young generation of today. Dr. Suchitra is a keen writer and writes in many educational magazines and motivational speaker too. Her social footprints are regularly seen through her articles, audio voice, in many national and international platforms. A very warm welcome, ma'am. The stage is all yours.
Namaskar and good evening from New Delhi, India. Thank you so much, IIU, to give me such a wonderful platform where such seasoned educationists are there to speak. I am really honored. 20 years of this journey in the education sector has been really a wonderful one, but the last year was a roller coaster. If I can talk of the education sector, I think we've done an excellent job, be it the school education or higher education. The paradigm shift that we have taken because of the COVID-19 pandemic, I think that is commendable. However, to talk of the 21st century skills that a teacher should have, we have to ensure that all the educators are creative, they can think critically, and of course, work in collaboration. That is what we need to teach our generation. To talk about technology, the way we have shifted wasn't a very easy journey. However, we see the resilience of the students, the parents, the community, and of course, the educationists has been really great the way they have done it. And that was possible because we had already technology with us. It was only that we never used it because we never felt the necessity. But we had to understand in that last year that children were actually born with technology. It is we who had to adapt ourselves. However, coming to the subheading, the topic that I have been given is a social ecological system affected by pandemic. I'll straight away hit to that. COVID-19 pandemic, as I've said, has led to a dramatic loss of human life worldwide. And it has given us to unprecedented challenge to public health, food systems, and of course, it happened throughout the world. The outbreak of COVID-19 has severely affected all the countries and killed thousands of people and has officially been categorized as a pandemic by the World Health Organization. And we need to tell our generation that we have a responsibility for that. It has infected lakhs of people and nearly 184 countries, and it's caused thousands of deaths worldwide. The economic and the social disruption actually caused the pandemic, the pandemic caused is devastating. Millions of people are at risk now and falling into extreme poverty, while the number may increase at the end of the year drastically. As we know, social ecology deals with the energy and the society, the land use, the food production, and the metabolism of the societies. Aren't this part of education? And how do we impart education? Nothing but using technology at the present moment, because the safety of the generation, the safety of the children, the safety of the student is our priority. COVID-19 pandemic has actually altered human behavior and in a profound manner, promoting us to question whether the associated economic and the social impacts might actually overweigh the disease impacts. Millions of enterprises are actually facing the existential threat. Nearly half of the world's global workforce are at risk because of losing of the livelihoods. And the generation is actually under anxiety, under stress, so as to what is there in the future. We as educators, we need to reach out to each one of them and teach them that this is just a temporary one. We need to overcome this. Informal economy workers are actually particularly vulnerable because of the lack of social protection and the access to quality health care, and have lost access to productive, I would say, assets. Without the means of income during the lockdown, many are unable to feed themselves and their families. For most of them, with no incomes, they have no food, and therefore less of nutrition. This is a deep concern, my dear friends. And pandemic has been affecting the entire food system. Because why I'm talking this? Because I'm supposed to talk on the socio-ecological system, and that too after pandemic. The pandemic has been actually affecting the entire food system and disrupting the domestic and the international food supply. And these are the things that we need to talk to our students so that they are well prepared. They know what is the actual scenario because of the pandemic the whole world is facing. And therefore, they need to learn, they need to research, and they need to know what is to be done, how they need to prepare themselves. The pandemic has actually decimated jobs, placed millions of livelihoods at risk. As breadwinners, they lose their job, they fall ill, and they die. We've lost so many educators, so many fathers, so many mothers, and the children are really so worried so as to how will they continue with their education. And I'm sure with IIU's the roadmap, if they get to know, there are many who does not know about it. If we can give it to them, the access, I'm sure many will be benefiting. In the COVID-19 crisis, I would say the not only endangered the people's life, safety, and health, but also greatly affected the economic globalization. To address the challenges of this pandemic, the socio-economic factors and the climatic factors must also be understood to suggest better strategies for predicting, preventing, coping with the mitigated and the associated challenges. Countries and regions should pay more attention to controlling population flow, improving the diagnosis and the treatment capacity, and of course, improving public welfare policies. They must recognize the environmental impact associated with the lockdowns, indirect effects of the virus, which can be really profound. So my dear friends, I think now is the time for global solidarity and support, especially to the most vulnerables in our society, particularly in the emerging and the developing world. Only together, I think, we can overcome the intertwined health and the social and economic impacts of the pandemic and prevent the escalation of any such devastation, in fact. Such detailed discussions on such a wide platform, I think, can definitely take control over the environment, because we can reach out to our children. And how technology plays a role, I would say that this is the new norm that we have to adapt in our schools, in our colleges, and ensure that children, whether they are well or not well, they get the education what they deserve. We can reach out to them, whether they are in the campus or they are at home. And of course, the new normal will not be the same. It has to be a blended learning where everyone will have to combine both and ensure the best thing can be given. The new education policy that has come up by CBSE in India, I think digitization, public digital learning is something which has been emphasized on. And that's an excellent thing that has happened, because all this time students, children were using technology, but now they will be using technology for learning. Therefore, as Professor said, I think we need to think on developing how to work more so that the children can be channelized and the children can be utilizing technology in the best possible way. But everything will be possible only when we have a blended approach, when there's a support system for the teachers by the government, by the organization, and of course have a framework to guide technology integrated learning. Therefore, there has to be a reconceptualization of learning. That is what I feel is the most important thing that we need to think about. And with the blended learning, with IIU, with the professors of universities like Manipal, our universities we have, I think we can go much ahead. Only thing is we need to do research on giving the students the best that they deserve. Thank you so much. I hope I could present myself well.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Bhattacharya. It was a great insight, and definitely we all can bring the change together. So it is not by one, it is the society, it is we, it is us, and that's how the change will be there. So unity. Moving further, our third speaker of the day, yes, one of our team leader from UK, Dr. Satnam, for the topic, work from home and corporate sector. Dr. Satnam is the CEO and a managing director, Duchaka Group of Companies, UK, and Community Interest Company, Global Goodwill Ambassador, GGA, first spokeswoman, Imperial House Express, Elham, Madani, Wales, UN Delegate for FDMUN, FIGHR Prize of Peace Award nominee for Women Empowerment 2020, Peace Ambassador, UK, she's Chief Patron, Nav Vanitha Niketan Charitable Trust, India, Chief Patron, B Growth Forest Foundation, India, Business Development Consultant, Diversity and Belonging Consultant, Green Party Leader, UK, Greens of Color, International Officer, Partner, Human Resources, Environmentalist, and Promoter of Green Offices, Crowdfunding Expert for Sustainable Development Projects around the globe, Mentor and Personal Advisor for projects, Professional Mentor, Management, Business Consultant, and a lot more. A very warm welcome, ma'am. Over to you. The stage is all yours.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I think you are lucky to just introduce us. So I really appreciate, thank you. I think this is a very good thing, I think regardless of whatever we say, we are here to discuss a lot of things. First of all, congratulations to IIU, the entire fraternity for doing so well. Today we're sitting here trying to collaborate more and more institutions, more warm, more warmth and more blessings coming our way. So I think we feel very honored that we've got this privilege, and I would like to thank all the co-founders, I'd like to thank all the organizing committee and all the delegates and everyone that's actually a part of IIU for letting us being a family and spending this time together into utilizing it into something that would bring some constructive changes and some really advanced facilities for all the students and people who would actually work and collaborate with us. So thank you, first of all. And secondly, moving to where we are, work from home in the corporate sector. Obviously, during the COVID pandemic, the transition to working from home was very fast and furious for many companies. And now figuring out that I think a lot of organizations are now into a situation where they're trying to figure out whether what is going to be the future, whether working remotely is going to be the future, or we're going to have to subside back to the normal ways. But I think the challenge now is when having tasted the flexibility and the commuteless convenience of work from home, obviously the white sector, the white collar employees, they do not want to return to the offices. Even if after the pandemic ends, I think the major part of that society would even opt out to changing roles rather than to offices to go back to their normal working ways. So, and also, we have to work out, because it's some sectors that will allow that change, but this change is not going to be as promising in every sector. So there are going to be opportunities, there are going to be advantages, but there are going to be disadvantages. So even I think there was a latest CMIE report that pegged that there were 15 million job losses in just May 2021. And opposed to, I think, there were 115 million jobs that were lost during the complete national lockdown in the April 2020. But the hiring has not picked up. The hiring is still not uniformly across sectors. So that's how the experts view it. So we have to work out a synergy. We have to work out, even if people are working from home, why are the opportunities getting dashed out? But what is going to be a progressive way of getting a balance? So interactions, the main challenges of not being at work, places, we've seen that the interactions have been key signals of culture. So which is often built and reflected in a way that people behave, they dress, and they're reinforced by the physical settings. And from open spaces to, when you used to in a traditional office, traditional way of work, and all of a sudden, when even the many leaders, they're string when it comes to creating a directing culture where employees are far flung. So it's difficult to coordinate like that, But I think we have had enough technology to support us, but still, I think still a strong proportion of communities are still of the idea that the work is best in uniformity, in the office situation, in the surrounding. So this is something in the corporate sector, like I said, every sector will not give you that advantage, will not give you that opportunity, even though we're trying our best. But I think overall organizations that are adapting well to this massive remote work, experiments have invested, reinventing in the processes and touchstones that align with their desired culture. So plenty of research shows that our ability to connect meaningfully to others is less satisfying when we're not physically present. So that is one thing that I think a lot of giants still believe, that will affect the physical presence not being there will affect it. Sometimes you make people lazy because they know I think that's the viewpoint from the official signs that we get. But I think from a working from home point of view, I think when people don't have the timings and don't have the time limits and don't have the bindings to them, I think they end up actually working more. So, and the time occupied in focused time is actually degenerated, because you would occupy the same amount, a lot more time, but not in a focused way. So there are benefits, obviously, the expenses to put up this high maintained offices, obviously that goes down. So there is going to be some kind of savings that come across, but like I said, there is a lot to consider before we can actually opt out and say, okay, the corporate sector can just alone flung with being at a virtual path, and we can just alone manage it all like that. But yes, like I said, there are some remote work plans, like a lot of big companies, I think one of our lovely speakers were actually mentioning all these giants, they have actually taken on to, I think, 80 to 90% of work from home policies, very strict policies. So being, Microsoft, I think, Twitter, Facebook, and even Emphasis and Dropbox, a lot of like that. They've put in a lot of huge strategies to implement the changes that are coming about. So when we see the giants doing that, I think a lot of private sector also kind of is influenced, and they want to bring about those kind of changes. But where I feel is the issue is, because it's the convenience and ease that certain corporate sectors get that demotivates a lot of the first line responders, because people then want to change their jobs, because certain jobs are so strict, have to be out all the time, especially first time responders, all the firefighters, the nurses, the doctors, all the security people, all the people who are working with the food chains and they're still supplying. So there's certain jobs that are actually being very strict and making you work even more than required. And then there are certain jobs that are actually giving you the space and time to spend more time in your own family, in your vicinity, and trying to give you that ease of working. So a lot of demography will change like that, in the sense people want to go for different kind of jobs than to stick to places where they're actually more required. So even though the availability of jobs, like I said, we've seen a huge job loss altogether. So saying that, what we have to see again, like I said, is the balance which the companies are now trying to find. So Logmain, another company that is moving to a remote-centric workplace. So what kind of models are they kind of trying to be in places where employees can figure out which work arrangements suits them the best and supports their lifestyle and mental health. So some will work remotely 100% of the time based on their situations. Some will have a hybrid arrangement when some will have like some office space time and some time working at home. And a small percentage of employees will be at the office 4 to 5 days per week if that's how their job requires. So how it works is in a hybrid organization, a future form study of knowledge works. They across 6 major countries found that the vast majority value flexibility, while only 16% want to be fully remote, and 12% wanted to return to working in the office 5 days a week. So a clear majority of 72% still want the option of working within a hybrid remote office. So that was the model that they particularly even chose for themselves. So not everyone wanted to be at home because they thought it was monotonous and it was not giving them the motivation that they regarded that was required to work, because you still in the same atmosphere, same surrounding. It doesn't feel like a change. And moreover, when you're interacting with the society, you're interacting with people, you're learning, you're gathering new things. So I think that's the kind of thing. So in the corporate, like I said, these are the things we visualized. We were aware how things transformed and what were the transitions in the whole year, even though it's been a very critical situation, especially in India. I think the kind of time we're facing now, and there was a lapse a year ago as well, where things became really, really difficult. But I think there are other countries as well, especially England as well. We faced a lot. We went on a lockdown for nearly a year and a half. So I think only now we're trying to get back to our feet. So anyway, regardless, like I said, so this concept, there's another concept that I think a lot of big companies have come into is the Flexi Jobs. So this is a special subscription facility that has been availed as well, that features a lot of job from all the giants, and they have some very reputed people, I think, these technocrats and these enterprise that are actually correlating with them and trying to submit all the job opportunities. But obviously, like I said, there is a cost for the members, but they do give you all the flexible job options. So the companies like, the Deutsche Bank, the Infosys, Nationwide Insurance, the Siemens, Starbucks, Twitter, and many, many more, they're actually moving into permanently giving employees the option of working from home and how they want to re-enter the office. So how might we reimagine the office to be reinforced culture in the new, better ways? So more important, how we do ensure distribution of culture across in the office and those that working remotely. But one of the greatest risks with the hybrid work is the potential for employees to have different and incompatible understanding. So like I said, everything comes with their own benefits and comes with their own limitations. So hoping, there are certain verticals, like I said, for IIR University internship, somehow we bring in this possibility into this dream, into reality with all of us that are working here and all of us that have put in God knows how much effort to bring this platform alive. So congratulations again. And like I said, making this dream possible for a lot of people to get onto this, this in virtual platform, to trying to get into the same level of acknowledgement and same level of acceptance as prior going to, traveling and visiting the best universities of the world. So I wish IIU that we join and we collaborate with the world's best universities, and we give people this wonderful opportunity to gain and learn with us, grow with us, and materialize their dreams with us. So thank you everyone.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Satnam, for your insight. Definitely work from home and this pandemic, which has changed the situation totally.
The audio has become weak. Audio is weaker. We are not able to listen.
Am I audible?
Audio is weak.
Am I audible now? All right.
Less audible. Increase the volume somewhere if possible.
Yes, you are audible.
Great. So, Dr. Satnam, definitely it has changed the situation, and somewhere we all have adapted it. Definitely it has its pros and cons, like the way you mentioned, with all the facts and figures. But certainly at the same time, like mentioned by you, these many organizations have changed their way of working definitely from home, but physical touch is definitely required into certain ways of working. Well, moving further, without wasting time, I would like to introduce you to our fourth speaker for the day, is Mr. Kevin Ward. For the topic, infrastructure and costing, new dimensions actually opened in this pandemic while we talk about virtual education. He's a people builder, a wisdom seeker who uses his wisdom to help people find their potential through becoming a wisdom seeker too. He helps wisdom seekers achieve sustainable excellence through awareness, training, coaching, consulting. His design, passion, and purpose to help lead others into finding and coaching, living their potential in their lives, which includes their work life as well. As he helps individuals find their potential, he also helps them apply their potential as a part of team. As he helps team and their potential, as he helps leaders or find their potential, he helps them understand how to lead leaders as a team, also help them in number of different ways to get them confidence as well. It's just amazing thought process with which he has been working with. So I would like to invite you on the stage, Dr. Kevin Ward. A very warm welcome. The stage is all yours.
Thank you very much. IIU colleagues, IIU leadership, and esteemed guests, thank you for this opportunity to share some thoughts on technology and education in the new normal. Greetings from the US. A little bit about me to help understand the perspective I bring. I am a business owner, teacher, educator, virtual trainer, and lifelong learner. I'm also deeply passionate to see that education is designed to include all types of learners, regardless of learning styles and status in life, that is more than just a knowledge source, but also a catalyst to apply knowledge through gaining understanding as lifelong learners. When I'm finished today, my sincere hope is that you will walk away to use the many great technology resources available to us to enhance learning, remembering not to throw out the great teaching skills we already possess because they're not new or technology, and be inspired not just to teach, but lead others into learning and doing so for a lifetime. Anytime I'm asked to speak in regards to education, many thoughts race through my mind. As we step into the future, starting today, we need to remember a few things. In order to move forward and improve education, you must indeed embrace technology and not just give it an honorable mention. In our lesson planning, we must say just enough to say we check some check boxes to include technology, but rather it needs to be an integral part of how we deliver learning. It must become an essential part of our teaching toolkit and used well, not just for the sake of using technology, but for the sake of improved effectiveness, teaching, and learning, and also to offer learning opportunities to as many as desire to learn regardless of their ability to pay. There are so many existing technology tools such as Zoom, PowerPoint, SketchUp, Prezi, interactive whiteboards, video tools, Google, 3D, virtual platforms, virtual reality simulators, and the World Wide Web, and the list goes on and on. We must learn how to be effective users of these resources and even be open to allow learners to introduce technology of their own as they have mastered it. Not only am I an educator, but I'm also an educator of educators, a leader and a wisdom seeker, so I must reflect on an old saying. Be careful not to throw out the baby with the bathwater, or in this context, let's not make the mistake of throwing out all of our teaching principles and skills just because they don't involve technology. As we use these great new tools to help others learn, let us be sure and keep the tools we already have in our toolkit that will help us use these technologies well. Let us not use technology just for the sake of using technology. The excitement of 3D and virtual platforms, the realism of VR and simulators, the ability to have worldwide participants. No, let us be sure and mesh them well with the time-tested principles of learning that helps move people from being students to learners that truly take ownership of their learning. 3 key principles that come to mind are, first, as an educator, we are also leaders. Second, we need to become facilitators of learning and not just deliverers of knowledge. And finally, we must ensure our learners understand that learning has not occurred unless they can do something with what they have learned. As leaders, we must remember that the tools we use, including technology, are not what inspires our learners. It is what we do as leaders, such as helping them have a vision of what and how we want them to learn. We must help them to find the relevance of what they're learning, and if it is not relevant, consider removing it. We should use good principles of leadership, including the right leadership style appropriate for our groups, to help them get to a point that we are no longer trying to make them learn. Rather, we are facilitating their learning because they have now taken ownership of it. We must also role model what lifelong learners look like, act like, and even demonstrate the humble attitude of, I can learn from anyone if I'm willing. As a facilitator of learners, let us remember that not all learners learn the same way, and that in a classroom of learners, virtual or in person, the best thing we can do is to always take a holistic approach by providing the knowledge we must in ways that include all learners. Those that primarily learn by listening, those that need to see what they're planning to get it best, and those that need to touch and experience what they're learning to truly learn. We should be sure to help them understand what we want them to learn, including the big picture with objectives right from the start. Let us be sure to engage them as soon as possible, not only in their learning, but how to help their fellow learners in their learning journey. Why? Because as learners, as they begin to teach what they are learning, then they will remember it without memorizing it because they really understand it. We need to help them understand the science and art of learning and not just technical content. We want to help them internalize their learning and break it into the smallest parts possible to make sure they do not miss something that could be valuable in their effectiveness, well-being, and safety. We must remember to help them understand how and why they can apply what they learn and use it in real life. Another way to say it would be to help them connect the dots from what we want them to learn to how and why they will use it in the real world. We must share our experiences using what we want them to learn to inspire them to make the effort to truly learn and not just memorize for tests. We should not accept learning as complete until they can show us what they can do with what they have learned. Let us use these many great technology tools to enhance the essentials of learning by engaging as many senses as possible. Reinforce what they're learning, not just to repeat it back to us, but to show us they can and will use it to accomplish goals in life. So in conclusion, let's walk away and use the many great technology resources available to us to enhance learning. Let us remember not to throw out the great teaching skills we already possess because they are not new or technology. Lastly, let us be inspired not just to teach, but to lead others into learning and doing so for a lifetime. Thank you so much for the time and the opportunity. God bless.
Thank you so much, Kevin Ward, for your valuable insights. Definitely, it is not about learning in a process. It has to be overall and the upliftment of the society. Like the way you mentioned, all insights, definitely it's value added to the entire team and certainly to all the educators, those who are listening to it today, or will be adapting it for the future of the generation or the youth of the nation. Well, our next speaker, our fifth speaker for the day with a new topic, Nada Retkovic from Croatia for the topic high-end technology. During this pandemic, things has actually virtually changed, has changed us virtually, other way. Well, Nada was born in St. Split, Dalmatia County in Croatia, where she finished primary and secondary school. She continued her education at the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, and Naval Architecture in Split, where she completed her studies in mechanical engineering. She actively uses English in speech and writing, computer literate, and has the advanced skills to use modern programs on the computer. Possesses personal, social, and learning to learn competence, entrepreneurship, competency, digital competency, mathematical and statistic competency, and a lot. A very warm welcome, Nada, on the stage. The stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I make a presentation, so could we share the screen, please, or I will talk without the presentation.
Let me request the technical team 1 second. Just 1 second. Here you go. You can share the presentation now, I believe.
Okay, thank you. So, good evening to everybody. I'm Nada Ratkovic from Croatia. Thank you, International Educational Information Congress. I'm very proud to be a speaker here on this big congress on the topic Technology in Education in New Normal. My topic is high-end technology. Here on this slide, you can see this is my school where I work. I work in a high school and also I work on faculty. So I could talk like a teacher and professor from both sides, teaching in high school and teaching on faculty. I will start with well-being. All of us here must take care about our mental health. How we call that? Well-being. So what I think, the best way to create calm, compassionate young people is to surround them with calm, caring adults. Let's also keep our mental health because when we talk about situation with COVID-19 pandemic, we said that education has changed forever. What it means? In many researches, it is suggests that online learning has been shown to increase the retention of information. It's true that millions of children have had to adapt to new types of learning. It isn't easy to go on e-learning, teaching remotely, and use many digital platforms. Here is one detail about technology. So to 2025, it is projected that we could reach $350 billion on the technology, mean on education. How can we call this time the new normal? So, as teachers, the work and importance role with all priorities can change. And there, I adore technology. But like a teacher, I can say there is no one technology that can replace the living word and also face-to-face with students. So situation was like this. From classroom, we go to Google Classroom, to Yammer. We use many digital tools. What we do, we make lessons, we record lectures with many digital tools. Many teachers were not digital educated, but in my school, we make many lectures, workshops, so the teacher learns that very quickly. How we do it? We record lectures, we show our face on many platforms like today, compress them because we have problem with the memory. What we use, like professor said before me, many digital tools, Socratic quizzes, Wizard, and we also must take care about our online security and the security of our students. Here I use Screencast-O-Matic, use Loom. Loom is very good for lessons when you must show your students some digital program like MS Excel or anything, something you can do it very quickly. Here we teach on these platforms, on Zoom, on Google Meet, on MS Teams. We make many researches, so we must create online surveys. We use these tools, Answer Garden, Mentimeter, Google Forms. For statistics and math, we use GeoGebra. For me, one problem was just this whiteboard. There are many programs for whiteboard, but I resolve my problem when I buy a graphic tablet. Really necessary for teachers who have doing mathematical operations or statisticals, and it helps me a lot. For chart, when we collect data, we use online chart because it is very quickly. For creating maps, infographics. Now, so all of these digital tools we use in our classroom in online learning. In Croatia, here I put some screenshots. We have a national agency, digital platforms like Editori, School for Life, and Carnet. What we do here, are not educated good for lectures, we were making video lessons. Here for my sector, we made more than 1,000 lectures. Every day I was making 3 video lessons. Like a statistician and researcher and an active member of Croatian Operational Statistics Society, I believe this. There is no technology that can replace the social dimension of education. Here on this graph, we can see teachers must grow up everyday life learning, and professional development. So here you can see how we provide that. Participation in networks across schools, from leaderships, from professional development, we take many courses. Also a focus on strategy, how to ensure the continuity of academic learning of students, of the well-being of students. There were many big big things at us what we must solve. What about curriculum? I think that many teachers, academic, high school teachers, didn't reach their all achieved in the curriculum. But I think it's not important. Why? Because this crisis put the focus on some other goals. I call it school for life. And every student today repeat that teacher, I really like to go to school. I really like to go to school. In Croatia and in Europe, how we check digital competencies? We use Selfie, a free digital tool that help us to see how are we good in the digital competencies. Also, we make Erasmus and teacher mobility. We have many virtual. We do many virtual projects in multicultural environment. Also in Europe, we have e-twinning platforms where we communicate with other teachers, with other students, and I can say that that was very good in this time of pandemic. What happened when we go on the blended model? It was for us teacher very stressed. Why? Because we must work at classroom and work at home. What are the disadvantages for our students? Lack of computers. In my town, there are families also who can't buy the computers for their child. So my school and we help them to have the computers. Also a poor internet connection. Many students live in parts where they don't have a good internet connection. So all of us here have many lessons from pandemic. I want to show some things that I do with my students. This is only one example. I really like to do STEM projects. My students made 100 projects for the online teaching. All of that works we also publish, so I can put this later in the chat, and you can see some of these things that we do on the topic innovative trends in education. This year the topic was and citizenship. Here is one example about digital entrepreneurship. We at school and faculty, we must we must take care about many skills, many knowledges, and one of them is entrepreneurship. So I want to show what my students do. Here is one project called Rural Development Eco Innovation. In whole work, we take care about all 17 sustainable development goals. Here, our idea is achievable and the company is sustainable. What is the focus? Sin is a little town and we have amazing surroundings here. And in Croatia, there are not many villages, smart villages. Here we take attention on digitalization. Here are the aims of project. Why? Because we want many job opportunities, improvements in our living conditions. So we explore and make our eco village. Here are some hypotheses that we put in this project. Rural areas are very important to improve the human life and increase the number of people living in eco-rural areas. Increasing employment opportunities and income, development of infrastructure is statistically significant. We make researches, we collect data, and we make here conclusions before we start with this project. Here are some of the goals. Survey is taken on 941 respondents from Croatia. We take part from inhabitants of my town scene and from Split, because Split is the biggest town here in my region. One is to stay in town or to live in rural area. Here are our answers, and we start from education, and we start from these points. Here are advantages and disadvantages we put here. People are living very lower, poor in housing conditions, lost privacy. Here are the questions that we took in our survey. What are the major problems? Low standard of living, poor conditions. Here we make it, we show it like a graphic statistic, and we are doing on this next. Here are the satisfaction of respondents with the life in the settlement. So 41.8% are mostly satisfied, but I think that they answer only to, because they didn't know would this data go into the newspaper. People are a little skeptic for that surveys. Here we make an application called Help Small Business. In our village, it would help us a lot. We would like to help micro and small entrepreneurs, family farms, craftsmen, and farmers. And we also want to be the leading innovative startup in our region. Our platform is really user-friendly, and when you registered on this platform, you can access the complete offer and demand of users. Here is the starting picture. When you press go button, we open the space and you can register and log in our platform. When you up entering the application, you can read our locations and tell us a lot about the food, the drink, product. We here took about 18 producers for the starting. On the offer button, we can see types of products. Here is our family Rednich, and then when you took the offer button, you can use these types of products. This platform would help, I repeat, my town to grow up. Our inhabitants, our students, our children would never leave this town. All of our students, when go to study in Split or Zagreb, they don't go home back. Here is the guides and the navigation, and here we also can use a taxi service, and then we can help our private carriers. Here is the app. I don't have time, so maybe one time I will show it how it works. So my conclusion is next. We must empower our students to take action. How we do? We must learn about action, we must learn through action, and we must learning from action. Thank you for your attention. And when you go to Europe, don't miss Croatia and visit my town scene. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Nada, for the valuable insights. And as you said, yes, definitely we all need to give direction and take action towards our students in order to learn understand, and give directions, definitely, well, that's how the technology has changed the world throughout. Moving further with our next speaker, before that, I would request you all to fill the application form. All the participants, if you'll be filling the application form, only then these certificates will be awarded. So e-certificates will be only available through your Google application form for the participation. The participation registrations are mandatory. Now, would like to invite my sixth speaker of the day, Dr. Richa Arora, on the topic, dependency on internet. Definitely, everything has changed and we all are dependent today, actually, yes, on internet so that we all can connect together. Dr. Richa Arora is professor in the Department of Languages and head of the Department of Arts and School of Humanities and Social Sciences, Faculty of Arts and Law, Manipal University, Jaipur. A very warm welcome, ma'am. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vidya, and thank you to you and to IU. I hope I'm audible. Here we are talking about technology, and here I'm also taking a lot of videos today. So I'm thankful to IU for this wonderful collaboration and bringing all of us together on this wonderful session. So here I am to talk about the first topic, which is dependency on internet during the pandemic. Technology, as we all know, has impacted almost every aspect of life today, and education is no exception. Technology is everywhere in education and has profoundly changed education. This paradigm shift is now becoming the new norm. Today, massive amounts of information in the form of books, audio, images, video is available at advanced fingertips through the internet, and opportunities for formal learning are available through the MOOC, podcast, traditional online degree programs, and many more. And it is a new normal. Access to learning today is vast, and thanks to technology, it makes it easily accessible. During this pandemic, in the last 1.5 years, we have realized how important technology is in education field, especially. The COVID-19 pandemic is quickly demonstrating why online education should be a vital part of teaching and learning. And by integrating technology into existing curricula, teachers were able to harness online learning as a powerful education tool. There is no doubt that internet or the integration of technology has improved the quality of education in many ways. It has opened doorways to wealth of information, knowledge, and educational resources. It has always improved the opportunities for learning beyond the classroom. And the new normal is blended learning, as Mathur has rightly mentioned, ICT, use of flipped classrooms, MOOC, and Coursera. Now let us quickly see what are the various benefits if you use internet in the field of education. As we all of us are aware, it provides a very cost-effective and affordable education. It is an effective teaching and learning tool. It improves student, teacher, and also the peer interaction. It gives easy access to quality education, and on top of it, most importantly, it helps in keeping both teacher and student updated. But this all has to, it has led to the dependency of internet, or shall we say, over-dependency on internet? The new term which has been used nowadays is internet compulsivity. So internet dependency is now being called as internet compulsivity. There has been an explosive growth of internet users, not only in India, but also worldwide, 1.5 years. And there is a growing concern about whether this is excessive. If so, whether it amounts to excessive. A recent study, I would like to quote a study here, which was published in one of leading newspapers in India. It stated that in 2020, India had nearly 700 million internet users across the country. This figure was projected to go over 974 million users by 2025, indicating a big market potential in internet services for the South Asian countries. In fact, India was ranked as the second largest online market worldwide in 2019, coming second only to China. This was very surprising. The number of internet users was estimated to increase in both urban as well as rural regions, indicating a dynamic growth in access to it. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to an inevitable surge in the use of internet and digital technologies due to the social distancing norms and nationwide lockdown. People and organizations all over the world, they have to adjust to this new normal to their ways of work and life. And in the last 1.5 years of this pandemic time especially, the surge in the use of internet is seen everywhere, and education sector is no exception. Almost all the education institutes have gone online due to the such online platforms like Teams, Google, Zoom, Meet, etc. And now also we are using Zoom for this interaction. People from urban and rural, irrespective of their background, tried their best to adapt to this technology. I think especially it was very challenging in the first few months. But now people have adjusted to this new normal. They are learning these new platforms, and everywhere in every education sector, this is being used on online teaching learning. This new normal is widely accepted now, and people have tuned themselves to this new term called internet compulsion. The pandemic has brought the world to a situation where those who are not connected to the internet or to technology are facing total exclusion. With strict social and physical distancing measures in place, new routines require accessing the internet for the most service. High-end internet has become the most vital requirement of the time. And if the exclusion not there, you are out of the classroom, out of the system, out of the mainstream. This dependency or compulsivity, whether it is whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, is widely accepted now. People have easy access to the internet. Most of the companies have been providing high-end plans with unlimited data, which is easily available before, and people have quickly become to funding. Well, as I said, everything has its pros and cons, and yet internet too has made us connected. It has made us this internet comes to a compulsion in our everyday life. And there are certain disadvantages.
It's audible, not very clear.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Is it very complicated?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So when Edison said that everything has its pros and cons, and yet the system has made it connected. And there are certain disadvantages, especially from the student point of view, with all of us, both of us, we cater to students. Student learning material is, though it is readily available, but it has some rare and reading habits. There are a lot of restrictions, and internet can help you set the exposure inappropriate and sometimes promises content. So a lot of falsehoods is all over there over the internet. It has increased the health issues, it has led us to lead an unhealthy lifestyle, and finally, sometimes it also leads to depression, loneliness, and social. But all the disadvantages can be taken care of if we take a necessary step in this direction. This new normal can't be a mainstream. This is the new normal, and once it doesn't fit into this new world of technology, especially after the pandemic, we will definitely feel a lot of difficulty surviving with it, and meet new challenges in this new normal. So let us all welcome new change, balancing our time with the new normal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richa, for your valuable insights. Definitely, this new normal and internet is actually the life of every individual today. Without this, we are unable to perform anything. We are unable to connect. We are unable to educate. We are unable to study. We are unable to learn. So it has become a part of our life. Well, since with the time constraint, I would like to invite my seventh speaker for the day, another great personality, Dr. Hari Krishna Maram, for the topic, 2 new aspects in the education policies, health and hygiene. Sir Dr. Hari Krishna Maram, Digital Brand Ambassador and Chairman of Vision Digital Inc., Vice Chancellor, Global Digital University, USA, Director, Stay Fit Private Limited. Dr. Maram's work in the field of management and education span of over 26 years, worked decade in leading MNC, Novartis Global Pharma. He has an illustrious career in education and has served as the Governing Council member at AIMA, All India Management Association, Vice President at AIMS. Also, he has Honorable Secretary BMA Treasure Education Promotion Society for India, EPSI, South India, Executive Board Member at NIPM and Chairperson, Higher Education Forum, Karnataka. His efforts in management and education have been recognized on numerous occasions by the Government of India. He is also a part of the UGC committee today. Besides being an excellent academician and educationist, Dr. Maram is involved with many CSR activities. Other than this, he received many awards and recognitions as well. A very warm welcome, Dr. Maram. The stage is all yours.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction, Dr. Prachi. Digital greetings to each one of you. And I would like to take opportunity to convey my appreciations to International Internship University for bringing all of us to talk on the technology education and the roadmap. And thanks inviting me to be part of this esteemed speakers and the people who joined across the world to be part of attending this webinar. So to start with, I think what example I can give, the oldest existing one of the university is Oxford University, which is more than 1,000 years of existence. So today, if you look at the Oxford University, in the last 1,000 years, the number of students they enrolled is roughly, per annum they enroll closely around 28,000 students. And till now, they enrolled 4.5 million students in different courses in Oxford University in the last 1,000 years. So if you look at one of the online educational organizations like Khan Academy, which is a 15-year-old organization, started in US. And today, if you look at the number of students who enrolled in Khan Academy through online education is more than 130 million students. And again, the second little younger company is a Coursera, which is 80-year-old company. And again, it is started from US. Today, the number of students enrolled in Coursera in the last 8 years is 92 million students. And again, one of the largest edtech company today in the world, the Baiju, coming from my city, the Bangalore, India, is a $15 billion market capitalized edtech company. They just started 7 years back, and today they have more than 35 million students enrolled in different courses. So what I'm trying to say, the power of online education is this. There is no boundaries for the online education. So the potential of this online education and technology education, we come to know and we come to realize is just in the last 18 months, thanks to the COVID pandemic. So every educator and every stakeholder in the education system, whether it is the teachers, promoters, or student, parent, realize the way the online education is going on. So coming to my topic, the policies and other things. So today, if you talk about specific to Indian higher education, we are having 1,000+ universities, 52,000 colleges, 980,000 schools. Altogether, we have closely 45 crore population, that is 450 million students, which makes India is one of the largest education system in the world. So I think most of my Indian colleagues, educators are familiar with the national education policy, the framework which just came a couple of months back, talking about a digital education. So in India, if we talk about the demographic dividend, what we call as the youth in India, today we are a 135 crore population. Out of this 135 crore population, we have a 60% of our population is below 35 age. That means in India, we have closely 80 crore people who are below 35. So now, the present situation, all the students who are enrolling for a 10+2 and 10th exam, they are without exams, they are passed, all 100% pass. So normally every year, if you look at 10+2, only 70% of the student they pass and 30% of the students they fail. And out of this 30%, again, lot of dropouts and a lot of students will not continue their education. But this year, thanks to pandemic, all the students got passed. Then now we need to different courses, whether it is engineering, arts, science, or whatever it is. So now, where is this many universities? So today, to cater to the needs of these all students, we require large number of universities, and even the National Education Policy of India is talking about setting up universities every month, at least 5 to 6. So in the next 20 years. So is it possible? Is it possible to set up 5-6 universities every month? So the only solution, the only alternative for this current situation, because the gross enrollment ratio in higher education is growing rapidly in India, unlike any country in this world. So to cater to these needs, we need a digital education, we need technology education. This we are talking from last 1 decade. In fact, when we started 14 years back, our organization, we are the pioneer, we are the first to talk on online education. And we started our organization called Vision Digital India to cater to the needs of this digital and online technology education, of bringing some of the latest technology courses in the field of higher education, mainly related to data science, digital marketing, cloud computing, robotics, artificial intelligence, Python, virtual reality. So these all courses are the future courses for the world, because these are the courses which can able to create job opportunities globally. So not many universities in the world are offering these kind of latest technology courses in the world. So we thought these are the courses required, and we collaborated with some of the best companies of the world, like IBM, like Google, like Microsoft, Amazon, to bring these certification programs, collaborating with universities and colleges, and with a very short span of time, able to reach 1 lakh students training. And we are very positive in the next 4 to 5 years. By 2025, we are going to touch the 1 million number. So these all can be possible only through digital. So today, if you talk about the world economy, it is 100 trillion economy, and due to this pandemic, in the last 18 months, we are degrowing more than 22% across the world. And what is the future? So today, if you talk about in the last 1 year, the companies which are progressed and able to generate revenue are only the technology companies. Today, if you talk about the platform which we are all using today and connecting digitally here, Zoom, just 18 months back, Zoom, what is the number? And today, the number of people use the Zoom platform is grown up more than 3,800%. Can you believe? This is the power of technology. This is the power of communication. So today, the world is moving towards technology. Today, the companies like Microsoft, the companies like Amazon, the companies like Facebook, Google, these are the companies which are growing very fast than any companies in this world. And here is the opportunities. Here is the jobs available for the students in the next coming 10 to 15 years if they advance and they enroll apart from their education into multiple skills. So to talk on again the policies and changes. So we are last 4 or 5 years we are communicating with the Indian government, especially the Ministry of Education, to talk and to encourage the digital education and also to support universities to set up digitally. So that in fact helped today. A couple of universities already started providing online education. And the future is definitely, I think, after the 2 waves continuously with millions of people got affected, and hopefully, everywhere the talk is on the 3rd wave. And today, exactly in the last 18 months, we lost the very crucial 2 academic cycles. And there is a lot of uncertainty in infrastructure, in universities, because large number of universities unable to sustain. Today, large number of colleges are unable to sustain, able to pay the salaries and able to continue, because till now, most of universities and colleges are concentrated more on developing infrastructure, and they invested 95% of their money on only the building. They never looked at the technology improvement and bringing the technology into the campuses. And today they realized first time what is the importance of the technology. So in these kind of a critical situations, I think technology education is the only way which can save this world. That is the reason today that some of the best universities in the world, if you talk about the Harvard, if you talk about Kellogg, Stanford, or the traditional universities like Oxford and Cambridge, also started talking about the STEM education, talking about the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So that is the future, because today any company to survive, whether it is a manufacturing, whether it is a service company, whether it is an agriculture technology company, whether it is a space research company, they have to depend on the technology. Today, the work from home become a part of every organization. And definitely, I think this is going to continue one more 6 to 10 months easily with the kind of number of cases and with the COVID penetration into every people life. So in this kind of a scenario, how our students can get a better opportunities. Today, a large number of our students who graduated from engineering or management or any degrees from last 2 cycles, they are not physically attended any interviews. They virtually attended interviews, and they are virtually working from home, and things are moving. So this is not possible in the manufacturing side. Today, entire manufacturing is closed. Today, the automobile sector is in a very kind of a alarming situation. No production is happening. So technology education is what a pleasure to listen to. Some of the speakers today is the new phenomena for the next decade. Because the number of students are growing not only in India, across the world, and we don't have so many universities, so many colleges to educate the students. So now the government's the only alternative is to look at encouraging the technology education and setting up universities. In this journey, I think we are proud to say that 5 years back we started the digital university, the global digital university from US, and we started offering more the technology oriented programs across the world. And definitely today it is a more convenient to the faculty, to the student, because in future this pandemic is not going to be a last pandemic, and we are going to have this kind of a pandemics, this kind of uncertainty situations in coming years, in coming decades. So what will happen? So today the number of cars available on the roads, today the kind of a traffic today available, the kind of emergencies people are having, unable to move from their home. So only the technology education is the only solution can able to offer. So now again, this pandemic is given a great learning to how to maintain the health, fitness, how to maintain our kind of a society and safeguard ourselves to make ourselves hygiene. And today, again, the pharma industries and the vaccine is the only solution which every country is mainly depending on. And definitely with the kind of the penetration, with the kind of things are going, I think definitely we will get back to our normalcy soon, and we will have a great time in coming years. And India is definitely going to be a great leader in education with a large number of students and the demographic dividend, with the technology education, and with the great innovators and research and great scholars which India is going to provide to this world. And thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maram, for your valuable insights. Yes, you rightly said, 100 trillion economy. Digital has changed the world entirely. The new change, which actually brought IT as new normal, definitely. Where technology is playing a vital role. It's a very important part of our life. So does health and hygiene when we talk about, definitely. Now, moving further to our last speaker of the day. Yes, this time we'll be listening all this entire virtual technology, the scenario situation by the words of another clinical psychologist, Dr. Madhusri Balwant Manda, on the topic virtual education in the new normal. Psychologist, PhD, hypnotherapist, founder of Madhuram Care Center of Rehabilitation and Hypnotherapies. She consults in family issues, is a psychologist, RCI registered counselor, panic healer, hypnotherapist, chakra healing, metaphor therapist, family constellation, inner child therapist, age regression therapist, the art of living instructor, relaxation therapist, and CBT for pregnant ladies, senior counselor at Army Living Instructor, Public School, Jodhpur, member of State Selection Board at APS, and member of Disciplinary Committee. Other than this, she is also a lecturer, mentor for a lot of students, published author, researcher, trainer, and thus awarded with many recognitions and awards as well. A very warm welcome, Dr. Madhusri Balwant Manda, ma'am. The stage is all yours.
Virtual greetings to everyone. Thank you, Dr. Prachi Gaur, for such an amazing warm welcome. Thank you, International Internship University, IIU, and Mr. Piyush Pandit for this platform with various dignitaries across the globe. I believe that virtual education is the new normal. Virtual education moves with the time and thinking ahead of the time. Online learning is rapidly becoming one the most cost-effective ways to educate the world's rapidly expanding workforce. 4 or 5 years ago, did we all imagine that such a day would come that we will be sitting in our home and we will be taught by our teachers? Teachers will also stay at their homes, and they will teach us with the help of their mobile phones and laptop. Have we imagined it ever? No, but it's happening. The system of distance education is called virtual education. Virtual classroom is a classroom in which we don't physically meet each other, teacher or student, and interact each other with the help of mobile phone, with the help of different types of apps and software as well. If we talk of virtual classes, it's not as simple as it seems. There are a lot of problems also for the teacher as well as students. During online classes, what is happening these days is there are many teachers, especially if we talk of the teachers who are of certain age group, that they are not able to learn anything new in technology, or we can say they are far away from the technology. than also they have learned now. It was very difficult from them initially to cope up with this situation because they were not able to learn how to use smartphones, how to use other gadgets, how to use particular apps like Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Meet. They did not know how to at all, how to make PPT also, because these things are completely new to the teachers, especially who teach in rural areas. But see what has happened. What has happened in that now the same teachers who had never ever thought in their life that they will have to face this situation in their life, that they will have to teach from their home or from the school, and the students will not be present in the front of them. But teachers found it be a challenging task, but accepted it. They accepted this challenge and showed the world that yes, they also can learn, who has nothing to do with the technology after a while. No relation, those people, those teachers also have learned a lot during this pandemic. No doubt that there are lots of problems coming in their way in learning about technology. Sometimes the problem is related to the technology and the app being used. In this, educational institutes are helping them a great extent. They are providing with frequent tech support, conducting workshops and training sessions, and the teachers are being taught by the experts. The second issue of network. What is happening is there are a lot of people who are not having access to a Wi-Fi network, or they are unable to afford broadband. They are relying on their mobile phone networks. A network drops and they are not able to deliver what they can. This problem is global. We need to improve our internet connection, and the same problem lies on the part of the student, as well as they also if they are in rural areas. Another factor is that we have a number of students who don't have good economical condition. They also and also they don't have access to good electronic devices. And sometimes what is happening is that there is a single device and there are 2 to 3 kids to take classes, so become problematic for them because school time is same like 8 to 2 p.m. types. Parents cannot afford more than one device. So these are the visible and obvious problem. But apart from all these things, the positive side of this virtual class is that the students have not completely been cut off their school and teachers. They are regular in touch. Virtual classes are given them chance to stay connected to their educators, institutions, and most importantly, it is giving them opportunity to learn together. The thing is that the teacher is the one who knows how to guide the student, what is the need of the students, and what is the demand of the time. According to the teachers, prepare the lesson and deliver to it. We need to make the best use of technology and the time. You can't teach people everything. They need to know the best you can do is position, where they can find what they can do know and when they need to know it. Thank you so much, Dr. Prachi and IIU and Mr. Piyush Pandit sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Madhushri, for your valuable insight. Definitely, the virtual education has brought a new normal, the situation, and also the right use of things, the resources, as very well said by you. It brings a different change. Education with the new normal, which is virtual, and adaptability among all of us. Well, it's time to conclude our session now, but before that, I would request you all to start your cameras so that we all can have the group picture. Yeah. Cheese, please. Or say IIU. Cameras, please. Well, Thank you very much. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to Mr. Piyush Pandit and IIU for the perfect logistic support and guidance he has extended to all of us at this symposium. I also extend my thanks to Professor N.D. Mathur and to Manipal University for their enormous cooperation in this organization of this particular event. With this, I will Dr. Navneet, Council of Foreign Affairs, for the vote of thanks. Dr. Navneet, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Prachi, for inviting me here. And first of all, to begin with, thank you, Manipal University, Jaipur, for joining hands with IIU to make this educational symposium a great success. Having such an amazing speakers from all around the globe speaking on the adoption of technology in education sector as a new normal, which is actually the need of the hour. To begin with, my special thanks goes to our collaboration partners, the esteemed Manipal University, Jaipur. I repeat here, the esteemed Manipal University, Jaipur. Today's amazing moderating skills by Dr. Prachi, connecting us all from the warm welcome to handing me over this baton to present my vote of thanks to all of you on behalf of the entire team of IIU. I extend my digital greetings to all of you. Thanks to all our most valued and invited keynote speaker, Professor Naresh Dutt Mathur and his team of Manipal University, Jaipur, presenting a very informative and well-articulated speech on technology education in the new normal. Amazing, eloquent, and wonderful leaders of various institutions and organizations. And some we have here from IIU. Among these galaxy of amazing intellectuals, I am proposing this vote of thanks. It was really wonderful to hear from all of you, the diverse speakers on different topics as new normal way of education which has risen up with its holistical demand. The need of the hour of these ongoing pandemics, the waves which are hitting the world all across. It was a great, to hear from each one of you, and it's very difficult to decide who spoke the best and who nobody lagged behind. It was so interesting. The symposium, a couple of hours just flew away listening to each one of you. So it was a great to hear from all of you. We need to walk this talk by all of you. It is not just being here on symposiums and on this webinars, seminars. We really need to walk this talk. Whatever presentations everybody gave, PPTs, and with different views about this kind of education. So we need to make people aware of this new normal and encourage the students to go in for online education, because there'll be many dropouts because of this ongoing pandemic. So it is you as teachers, the gurus, who would hold their hand and create so many ekavyas around you. So I would also wish to express my gratitude to the co-founder of IIU, our trustee, Mrs. Roshni Lalji, the torchbearer, I repeat, Dr. Piyush Panditji, the CEO of the IIU, the co-founders, all the co-founders of IIU. I would extend my heartfelt vote of thanks to the VC, Dr. Pareen Somani-ji, Dr. Pratibha Bishra, President Advisory Board, Dr. Prachi, Country Director, India, and who has been proved to be an amazing moderator for today. You have all shown the importance of strength, resilience during the times of distress. So everybody, maybe somebody is having a person who's not well in the family due to this pandemic, but still, everybody's collected here, being here, with all those, putting aside all those pains and sorrows and looking forward for a better future of the world. So you all have shown the importance, the strength of resilience during this time of distress. Indeed, there is a sunrise after every dark night. So it's a hope which will take us along. So all soon shall pass. We expect it should be past. Everybody, I've heard people saying, yes, there will be another wave striking us. But when we are prepared, suppose we know it is going to rain, we are seeing the clouds. So we are all going to have an umbrella in the hand and be having a disaster preparedness, how to move and how to meet the challenges as, being in this galaxy of intellectuals. So let's not lose hope and move forward. May this world be a better and more humble place for our generations to come. We will ride the storm together. We are not alone, and we will leave no one behind. So holding hands today with Manipal University, Jaipur, and tomorrow with many other. So it is going to be a beautiful chain work, which we are looking forward. IIU is meant for all. It is a global university which will really, listening to all the speakers here. So I feel you are now a part of IIU. So we need volunteering teachers and with such good skills. And I really thanks again from my core of the heart listening to all of you, each one of you. So organizing and initiating conferences, seminars, workshops, symposiums, IIU's intention is to connect the dots between 195 countries of the world, creating an everlasting bond to quench the thirst of the education seekers across the world, which has been a dream come true for our honorable CEO, the co-founder, Dr. Piyush Panditji, and all the co-founders who are in the team. To begin with, I would also like to evoke God's blessings for our mission to flourish. Without him, nothing is possible. So there is always someone somewhere to make a change in our, and there we have a co-founder who have designed this, who thought about this free education concept across the world during this striking pandemic. So it has been really thoughtful, and so here we are together to take it forward, this noble mission, and we will all have this for a better change, will not only come and be alone, but we know we are standing together for a cause, for people to take this mission forward. So the world is very small. Today, see, we had more than, I think, 140 people here on this from different countries, different parts, and listening to them, each one of them, it is very, we feel lucky at IIU having these people connected with us. So once and for all, we have you as our own team of IIU. With the motive of being the President of Council of Foreign Affairs, on behalf of IIU, we look forward to promote the United Nations SDG goals for education for all. So with this, I hope and aspire with our determination, will, and perseverance, we should all join hands and be able to set an example for aspiring coming generations. I express my gratitude to the management team and the technical team. I once again would like to give a deep sense of appreciation to Dr. Prachi, Dr. Piyush Panditji for bringing us all together here as a rainbow of different talents. So we are all colorful from diversified cultures, from different religions. So I think we have crossed those barriers. When education comes, it is for all. So a bouquet of different abilities. So each one is depicting a different flower. So we are all here together, apni apni khushboo liye, with our own essence. And that is how we are creating this lovely bouquet. And by special thanks to Dr. Piyush for creating this rainbow and this bouquet with an everlasting ripple effect for the society in future generations, which is going to be, of course, from the IIU. So I once again thank Dr. Prachi for moderating and conducting this symposium. The co-host, Ms. Kalyani Rao, Mr. Ansh Segal. Special thanks to print and media channels for their commendable work. It was a very laudable event to identify and appreciate most amazing speakers and the guest faculty from Manipal University. Once again, on this closing remarks, I humbly extend my gratitude to all those who are making an impact, taking IIU forward, connecting all countries together through education. I feel honored and proud to add my voice and full support to this mission, vision of the International Internship University. Thank you all.